Food cuts through every aspect of our lives, and the foods we eat weave a story of our history, values, and culture. For example, the national cuisine of the Somalis is influenced by India because of the Indian Ocean trade, by Ethiopia because of the trade caravan networks, by Italy because it colonized Somalia for half a century from 1889 to 1936, and finally the Arabian Peninsula. Because majority of Somalis are Muslim, another food influence are the Islamic dietary laws, otherwise known as halal. Many cultures consume halal food, not just Somalis, because it is primarily followed as an act of religious piety. So, this topic of halal has been fascinating to us. Culture is a set of dietary laws that determine which foods are fit or proper for consumption by Jewish consumers who observe these laws. Similarly, halal, an Arabic word, is anything that is permissible in the Islamic religion. There are many similarities between kosher and halal. Kosher finds its origins in the Torah and Talmud, just like halal finds its origins in the Hadith and Quran. Permitted animals within kosher include mammals with split hooves that chew their cud. With halal, domesticated animals with or without split hooves are permitted. They do not have to chew their cud. Prohibited animals within kosher include pigs and similar species, insects besides grasshoppers, and birds of prey, among others. Within halal, swine, birds of prey, and carnivorous animals are prohibited. Both halal and kosher require that the blade must be sharp, quick, and swift, and that the blood of the animal must be completely drained. However, halal does not require that the meat be soaked and salted, and stunning is allowed to some extent. The kosher slaughtering process must be completed by a person who has been specially trained on all the laws of Shahita, while a Muslim or other persons of the book, Jew or Christian, can perform the halal slaughtering process. In Shahita, a blessing to God is recited before beginning an uninterrupted period of slaughtering. Likewise, Zabiha requires that God's name, Allah, be pronounced before each slaughter. That said, if a meat is kosher, it is also halal. An organically raised animal that is permissible and slaughtered following Zabiha standards can be rightfully halal. Firstly, we would like to clarify the terms organic, natural, and artisanal, which can often be interpreted interchangeably. Organic labeled foods should contain at least 95% of organic ingredients and be certified by a certification body that is accredited by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Foods labeled as natural should not contain added vitamins, mineral nutrients, artificial flavoring agents, and food additives. Natural labels are currently not certified by a third party. Artisan made implies that the food is produced in small batches, with minimal involvement of machines and more application of labor-intensive techniques. Also, artisan made labels are currently not certified by a third party. A food product could be grown inorganically but still be rightly natural or artisan made. In other words, natural or artisan made does not equal organic. That said, organic meat certification involves very clear standards on how the animal is raised, the feed the animal is fed, the use of antibiotics, and there is an emphasis on contamination prevention both during the slaughter process and during the post-slaughter transportation to stores. These conditions parallel conditions that halal promotes as well. Although consuming halal foods is primarily a religious practice, it doesn't exclude non-Muslims from consuming it. So when next you're walking by the meat aisle, try the halal labeled meats if you haven't before. You might find that it's easier to rinse as the blood is fully drained. It requires less water as the meat's texture is softer. It smells fresher as opposed to the typical stale blood-like smell fresh meat often gives off, and it takes less time to cook. Furthermore, there's a food safety component to consuming halal. Halal is not just about the slaughtering of animals. It is related to the entire process before and after killing of that animal. We use cow meat as a case study because it is a ruminant with split hooves and thus it is permitted. If the cow has been fed unclean feed, such as sewage, blood meal, or biosolids, then it could contain harmful parasites, becoming haram unless quarantined for 3 to 40 days. The quarantine process also applies when the cow has been administered antibiotics when sick. A non-GMO grass-fed cow that is also free-range satisfies halal. Halal procedures emphasize the humane treatment of the animal. Conditions such as allowing the cow to rest after transportation from the farm to the abattoir, not killing the cow in front of other animals, and not sharpening the slaughter knife in the presence of the cow are promoted. In fact, mobile abattoirs can eliminate the need for transporting the animal, a process which can be highly stressful to them. Stressful pre-slaughter conditions use up the glycogen content in the cow. This results in DFD meats, dark, firm, and dry meats, which is susceptible to bacterial growth. Hand slaughtering is preferred by slicing with a non-serrated and sharp knife, carotid arteries, jugular veins, trachea, and esophagus. This slaughter process causes a drastic drop in blood pressure to the cow's head that it loses consciousness and does not feel pain. Also, the smooth knife ensures that the flesh of the cow isn't torn during the slicing process, minimizing pain. Before the meat is butchered into the several parts, the carcass has to be thoroughly drained. The complete draining of the blood ensures that the bacteria and toxins that the blood contains is removed from the carcass. Although there are other non-halal meat processing methods which are considered sufficient for the food safety standards, the halal process ensures that the meat itself is not only healthy, but that the processing of the meat is completed in a humane way, ensuring that the end product is wholesome and safe for consumption.